So hello and welcome to Conversations with Esther tonight, the 10th. Oh, today is 10th of September 2025. Our guest is in the house. Allow me to pray as we kick off. Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you for your goodness and faithfulness. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us together once more. We pray that we will be able to learn and share with our guest and among one another. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Karibuni sana, sana, sana. Allow me to put this up as we make an intro of Conversations with Esther, especially for those that may be joining us for the very first time. So Conversations with Esther began quite some years ago, and we are excited that we are still going on to educate and to impact. This is who we are. Conversations with Esther is an impact-driven professional platform that informs, educates, and rebuilds mindsets on matters work, organizational culture, and holistic wellness. Now, we ignite ethical and authentic leadership, promoting best practice within industries. Conversations with Esther equips the workplace with relevant legal, human resource, and holistic wellness skills through training, motivational talks, end-to-end HR consultancy support, and mentorship programs. Guided by our three values, integrity, excellence, and impact, we envision a workplace transformed by professional conversations, respectable relationships, and intentional leadership. Now, we focus also on wellness. And I keep asking this question, which of these pillars are you excelling in? Which one are you excelling in? Is it your physical wellness? Is it your mental wellness? Is it your financial wellness? Are you telling your money where to go, not wondering where it went? Is it your social wellness? Are you making time for friends, family, and social entertainment spaces? Are you prioritizing your spiritual wellness? Are you working on your environment? And it's not just tree planting, but also your home and work environment. Are you working on your intellectual wellness? Are you reading? Are you developing yourself? And as we talk tonight about getting to the corner office, intellectual wellness is important. And I think actually our guest, I know he's listening. He will talk to us about intellectual wellness of CEOs. He will talk to us about physical wellness of the CEOs. I see him a lot in activities and he steers this across the organization. He will talk to us, I believe, about the mental wellness, the stress, the fatigue, the burnout in that seat of a CEO, the financial wellness, social and spiritual. So which one of these are you excelling in? Ask yourself that. And that which you're not excelling in, do something about it. So our calendar of events has been quite exciting. We are doing very well. We've come all the way from nature walk, team building, networking event, physical wellness, environmental wellness, the hike, facing our fears, daring activities, and we are now this month doing the movie and bowling. So keep an eye on our social media spaces. If you're not in our groups, please join. We will share the link as we continue with the session so that you will know what's coming up. We will share this for you to be able to join our wellness community. I'll share that on the chat. So keep an eye on the chat for the QR code and the link. We will share that. So here we are today. We are doing a 5-week series on Meet the CEO. Topic is how to climb the corporate ladder. And I keep adding the word steadily. You know, you can climb the corporate ladder, but you're not steady. So how to do that? from an executive officer. If you look at our guest's LinkedIn, please go check him out on LinkedIn, Tobias Alando. He came from an executive officer to the corner office. It didn't happen overnight. He says the journey to the corner office has been one of resilience, focus, continuous learning, and improvement. Now he is a CEO at Kenya Association of Manufacturers. So today you get to interact with one of the industry's most influential CEOs who has steadily climbed the corporate ladder by learning the ropes for over 20 years in the same organization. I still marvel at that. I salute you. I salute you, Tobias. Honestly speaking, that one is no joke. 20 years plus. Actually, I had to count that. I calculated and noticed it's actually 20 plus years. So karibu sana, karibu sana to the show.
Thank you.
I see people clapping for you. It's not easy. I'm in HR. I am one person, definitely. I think the longest I've been in an organization has been 5 years at most. 20, I salute you. But I admire the fact that you have, Dama, I need prayers maybe. But what I have seen with our guest is the resilience. I mean, Tobias, I watched you step into an acting role, and I have always told you this, an acting role of the CEO. And it's natural that we assume when you get into the acting role, when they have to choose a CEO, the prayer and the sincere prayer is that they choose you. And then they bring you someone else and take you back where you are, but you are still there. Congratulations, man. And
Thank
now
you.
here you are. That corner office may have looked elusive, but you got the seat. So please talk to us. Many of us here, and I know a gentleman called Owen. Owen keeps saying, I want to be a CEO. I want to be a CEO. Owen, you're there. I saw you. He says, I want to be a CEO. Today you have one of the most influential CEOs talking about Kenya Association of Manufacturers. I know he will tell us what Kenya Association does and how you got to the seat. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Esther. And thank you for all the listeners for allowing me to have this conversation with you about my life. I'll start by giving you a proverb, an Africa proverb that says that those who left you in the forest have no right to know what the lions did to you, nor do they have the right to know whether you survived in the forest. It's just talk about it's a proverb about life, and life is a journey. And in this journey, you have people who walk with you, and you have people who leave you behind. So the people who leave you behind in your journey, they do not have the right to know whether you were eaten by the lions or the wolves in the forest, or whether you survived. So my life has been a journey. People look at you as a CEO and think you woke up one day and became a CEO. I didn't wake up and become a CEO. It is a journey. My journey started 20 years back. And in that journey, there has been ups and downs. But I developed some of the key lessons and attributes within that journey that I have come from. And there are 6 things that I hold dear to me, and I will share with them as we progress. But just to highlight that I represent, or I head, an organization called the Kenya Association of Manufacturers as a CEO, one of the oldest membership business organization in East Africa. We represent about 1,300 members, and I have a staff complement of about 100 people. And we represent, in terms of industry, we represent the manufacturing sector, over 14 manufacturing sector. As you are aware, manufacturing sector is critical towards the growth of the economy of this country. Our share of contribution to the GDP is about 7.4, 7.5. We strive to increase that share of contribution. Now, back to my journey. I started working in CAM as actually as a sector officer. Worked as a sector officer, and that time CAM never had regional offices. So we got some funding to open regional offices in Mombasa and in Kisumu, Nyanza and Western region. So I applied for that role because there were two roles, one to represent the organization in Nyanza and another one to represent the organization of the Coast region. So I applied for that role, and I was appointed to establish a new office in the Coast region. I worked in Mombasa for almost 5 years, strengthening that regional office. And my work in the region was recognized because during that period, I was selected as one of the Rising Star Chamber officer or in Africa. We were actually two people in Africa who were selected. One lady was from Tunisia and myself from Kenya. We got an internship program to go to the US. I went to the US for about 3 months, 3 months training in the US. When I came back, I continued working. So my overall work in the region was about 7 years. And through that, you develop skills, knowledge, and you get to understand a lot of things. And within a short time, the then head of our membership department resigned. He went to be a CEO somewhere else. And I was promoted. So I moved back from Mombasa. I came back to Nairobi, and I headed the membership section. I headed the membership section from, I think, 2010. 2010, for another couple of years, additional responsibilities was given to me, so I became head of membership and governance, still within the organization. After a few years, we had a CEO and all that. Then the CEO went on maternity leave. So I was appointed to act as the CEO of CAM when my CEO went on maternity leave. And after she came back, of course, I went back to my role. Then she served her term, and she felt she's had enough. She wants to look for other new opportunities. So I was appointed again to act in that role as the board was doing the recruitment process. So the recruitment process was being done by Deloitte. So we went through the recruitment process. I also applied for the role. I didn't fear, because some people fear positions and all that. I applied for the role. And we were, from the report I got, we were about 29 candidates who applied. We were finally zeroed into 3 candidates. And out of the 3 candidates, they selected someone else to become the CEO of CAM. And I was called to be given a feedback, and I was told I did well in the interview. However, the board has chosen someone else to lead the organization. I said, well and good. If the board felt I am not ready, I mean, I'm not the one at this time, I became positive, and I said, well and good, I will support the person who has been appointed. And indeed, But they didn't. They didn't just leave me like that. They said, based on what you have demonstrated in the interview and all that, so the board created a position, which is the position of the Chief Operations Officer (COO), so that I became responsible for the internal running of the institution, and the CEO became responsible for the external and advocacy related engagement. So I was very positive. I didn't want to listen to any conversations that would say why they ignored you. And a lot of our stakeholders, some were calling me, telling me, why did they have to ignore you? You have worked here for long. You should have gotten this job. I said, no, you know what? My time will definitely come. So I supported and I committed to support the then appointed CEO. He served for a period of 2 years, and he felt he needed to focus on other things. So he resigned. So when he resigned, again, was called by the chair of the board, and the chair of the board told me to start acting. I was given an appointment letter again for acting. So I said positively, I'm going to do my best in terms of acting, because when you're given an opportunity, you make use of those opportunities. So I acted until the board sat and made a call in December last year and appointed me now as the CEO. So I've been serving as a CEO since then. So just going back to my lessons and in terms of the attributes and things that I have learned and have made me who I am. So I told you about 6 things that have strengthened me and have made me be who I am today in terms of that growth based on the story that I've shared with you on my journey. One of them is, of course, above everything, there is God. So I believe in God and I believe in prayers. In everything that we do, we put God first, and I have believed always to put God first in my journey and in my activity. So God has been the anchor of who Tobias Alando is, and has helped me a lot in terms of granting me wisdom in making a decision and granting me that boldness to address certain issues. The second attribute that has been key to me is discipline. And I learned this from my late father. My father was a very disciplined person. I'm one of the people who reports to work very early, and I'm committed to my work, committed to my responsibilities, committed to my people above me, committed to even people below me. So that discipline has made me able to achieve a lot. The third attribute, which is critical, and it was demonstrated in the aspect of when a new person was now appointed to come in and lead the organization. And that was what you call, what others people felt was overpassed or bypassed or whatever. The third thing is about respect. In leadership, if we do not respect, and respect is both people above you and people below you. General respect is crucial. I respected the people, I respected the authority, I respected the people who were appointed then to lead me, and I committed to serve them, because it's only God who appoints people in different positions. So that time was not my time. And so I respected the people who were appointed then. The fourth attribute, which has also enabled me to be where I am today, is a willingness to learn. I see a lot of young people. You want to be a manager, you want to be a CEO, but you're not ready to learn. Someone told me that you'd rather be stupid for a few minutes and gain knowledge for the rest of your life than pretend to be wise or knowledgeable, and you are indeed not knowledgeable. So willingness to learn, ability to want to learn. Because through my journey, there are a couple of people that I've looked up to. They have mentored me, and most of them have been top leaders within the organization and out of the organization. I have learned to learn from them. I've learned to ask questions where I don't know. I've learned to be corrected. When I don't know anything, I seek guidance. I seek to learn. And learning is both from the junior and the senior people. It's not only that you focus to learn from people who are above you. So I've learned from even people who are below me. The fifth item is about self-belief. There are a lot of people who don't believe that they can be what they want to be. So it always starts with self-belief. I have always visioned myself in the past to be the CEO of an organization. I talked, I dressed, and I behaved like one even before I got the position. So self-belief is really crucial in terms of now setting yourself to now the new position that you want to be. The last item, and is the most important item, is humility. The world and the positions can make us be proud, very proud. You need to pray for humility, that you be humble in all these roles that we have. Treat people like fellow human beings, and through that, you will scale up. Now, as I arrived through my journey and become now the chief executive of the organizations, of course, through a couple of mentorship and mentors that have been able to support me. And I've also mentored people, because you'll only grow when you also help others grow. You can't grow alone. So you only grow, you can give what you get. So you only grow when you mentor other people that needs to be mentored. So that's the life of my journey, and how I learned, and the attributes that I hold dearly up to today. Now, as I reached that level of the C-suite office, from the COO and the CEO, I also identified some of the critical aspects that are required, and through them, I shape myself every day. One of them is a strong image and drive. For those who want to be CEOs, for those who want to be in the C-suite, you have to have a strong image and that drive. Most of the CEOs you see, and Esther had asked me also to talk about how we manage our health, finances, and all that. So most of the CEOs you see around, we are all human beings. We have families, we have friends. So there's that part of us that most people don't know. But by the end of the day, we are all human beings. So there's a lot of pressure of work, but managing the organization is that you have a strong team. The art of delegation is critical. The art of directing and leading people in where you want them to go, or where you want the organization to go. having knowledge of the vision and the mission of the organization and the strategy of the organization helps you now to drive it with a strong team that you have. So I'll come to the mental health lastly, but let me just talk to you about now the other attributes. One of them is a strong image. The other critical is a strong knowledge base. Because my role, I have to have knowledge about the sector. So you have to do research, you have to study, you have to read a lot, and the position requires continuous reading, know the local trends, know the international trends in the sector that you are in. You only know this through reading, you only know this through research, and you only know this also through listening a lot. The other attribute that is crucial, and I've seen it working in my role as a CEO, is a strong belief in people. You cannot lead the people that you don't believe in. So I strongly believe in my people, in the people that I lead, and I have confidence. Once that happens, I know they can achieve, and we can achieve together what we need to do. The second last is high energy, because this role is fast moving. I'd say in a day, sometimes I could have more than five or six engagements. That's many engagements that I would have. And in those engagements, you are required to speak. Some engagements, you are required to share knowledge. So you prepare yourself well in terms of reading, having a background information on the topical issue, and knowing the people that you're going to engage. So a background information also on the people you're going to engage, the people you're going to speak to, and then sharing that knowledge. Because without preparation, you may enter into certain meetings and you're not able to provide the necessary impact and output that is required. The last attribute in terms of now that role is about sensitive to others. This role requires sensitivity, so I need to be sensitive to the team that I lead. I need to have knowledge of everyone, their state of mind, their state of health, because this is a team that helps me shine or helps me achieve my target as a CEO. So I also need to be sensitive how they are, how they're doing. If there is anyone who has a challenge, then I need to chip in with my team or my leadership team to see if we can address that challenge. Now, in terms of the mental health of a CEO, I deliberately play football every Tuesday evening to exercise. So if I don't go to the gym, at least I know I'll play football. So I'll exercise. So in every week, I either go to the gym and exercise, or I play football on Tuesday. On Saturdays is golf time, so I play golf. So for golf, you have to walk a lot and network. So that is my calendar in terms of exercise. Because if I don't exercise with a lot of pressure that is around me and around work, then definitely I will explode. So I need to find time to exercise. Sunday definitely is a time for family. And I try my level best also to, I never miss, by the way, my children's school sessions. It is diarized in my calendar so that I don't miss. I try my level best. All my 3 children, when there is a session with a teacher, I am available. The recent one, I think it's on Tuesday at 2, I had a session with the teacher of my last born in school. So I schedule it and I say, I have to have time also for my children and my family. So in a nutshell, that is who I am and what I do basically. Most of you might have seen me on TV or read what we do in the papers. But it comes through commitment. It comes through a great team that I work with, and it comes through the willingness to learn and to make a difference. So I have passion about the manufacturing sector, and I'm positive that during my period we shall make a huge difference in the sector, in the manufacturing sector, both in terms of way of engaging the government and in a way of also engaging our citizens. So, Esther, that's what I would say in a nutshell. Unless there are specific questions, then I can be able to answer. Thank you.
Wow, amazing, amazing. And I like the fact that you went round the wheel. You knew I would catch you somewhere.
Yes.
But maybe as the rest, and I know the team in the call would want to have a conversation with you. It's an open mic conversation, so Richard, Mercy, Maggie, Yvonne, and the rest, feel free to just unmute. But I would want to just ask, how do you what is a place of mentorship? What is a place of mentorship for CEOs? Either CEO to CEO. And by the way, do we have forums for CEOs where CEOs mentor aspiring CEOs? Or do you need to start one? I'm throwing a challenge. I'm throwing a
Maybe,
challenge.
yeah, maybe there are forums, but I believe because from my perspective, where I sit, the former CEOs who have been in this organization, I still interact with them. We have coffee and tea, so I still consult them where necessary. And apart from that, the other CEOs who are outside, who have not worked here, and are my friends, so I also spend some time with them. People who are more experienced than me, spend some time with them to exchange knowledge and idea. I must say, I also work with a great board who have both local and international experience. And in one way or the other, also do have conversations with them. I also have a very senior mentor who is a CEO, who was a former CEO of a big company. Is someone who also puts me in balance. So whenever I have some direction that I need to be guided on a matter, I would always call or go and see him. So I have a pool of people who would readily support me. And the lesson I learned is that as you are mentored, also mentor. So I also have a couple of people that have requested that I mentor. So I spent some time with them in terms of reviewing their commitment, reviewing their challenge, and also keeping them on toes in terms of progress. Yeah.
So great. Allow me to, Owen. Owen has been the one that I think Owen will be the first to look for you. Where are you, Owen?
Hi.
And hi.
Hi, I've just been here. I've been listening. I've been just doing some few house chores as I listen. Yes, will I look for him very much? Would I want him as a mentor? Yes. Would I want to learn more from him? Yes. So I would like to know if he has one of those funny days of spend a day with the CEO, and if he has, I would like to be the first. If he doesn't have, I would like him to consider and introduce to his life to help some of us. And yeah, so as he was just speaking, I remembered, I know someone from CAM. I think he's the head of strategy And I was like, this is a very small world.
Mm.
Yeah. So I aspire to be a CEO someday. I know I'm not yet there, but as you said, you need to work towards it, which I am working towards it. It's a tough journey, but at the end of the day, we have to walk the path to get to where we have to be and make the sacrifices either way. So yeah, definitely I'll look for you. Yeah, and
Thanks.
if you have those days of chill with the CEO, as the Gen Zs might say, I wouldn't mind if you can slot me in.
Oh, interesting. Thanks, Owen, for the compliment. And I want to wish you well in terms of your journey of aspiring to be the CEO. Just remember the 6 things that I've mentioned in terms of putting God first, in terms of respect, in terms of discipline, in terms of willingness to learn, in terms of self-belief, in terms of humility. If you tick all those boxes, then your journey definitely will be at the top. I don't have my day with the CEO sort of sessions, but I could take into your idea and see how that may pan up and see how many people we could be able to mentor and support. Thank you.
Wow. So
Esther.
Owen, I know Richie. Richie, I can see Tobias, you'll have a bigger team. Just wait. Owen will lead them. Richie, yes, take the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Esther, for this wonderful conversation that you have with Mr. Tobias Alando. The question I could like to ask Tobias, when you're a CEO, you expect a lot of yes people who give you what you want to hear, not what necessarily what the organization wants to do. People, how do you see information that is essential for the organization from people who surround you who want to give you information that is not suitable for the organization and you can sense it? How do you do it? And then the other thing is, how do you manage change? Because we are told that the most constant thing in life is change. How do you deal with change, especially when actually it changes even your way of leadership? It even turns around your way of leadership. How do you manage? Of course, I can associate it with humility, but how do you do it?
Okay. So first of all, just to correct you, I'm not a yes person. I don't believe in being a yes person. When you surround yourself with everyone who just agree with everything you say, then there's something wrong. But I believe in creating an atmosphere where people will give you feedback. Will give you feedback, and that feedback could be, you need to change this, we need to change this. I believe in participatory approach in terms of dealing with issues and allowing people to give feedback, whether negative or positive. And then based on that, we work on correction. The second question you ask about managing change. Change is painful, very painful. So you have to understand the dynamics in regards to change management within any institution. Change is also good. So you look at it in both ways. Change is painful, but at the same time, change is good. So you need to involve everyone when you're making any changes or when you're coming up with any changes. It needs to come not as much as the idea may come from the top, but involvement from the bottom up is more effective because now the people will own it. So you need to get people involved in terms of the change. You need to have the people understand and buy into the idea of change. Then it will run itself. You'll have no role, no major role in terms of pushing the people. Yes.
Good, Richard. You're good.
Yes, I am fine. Okay, I'm
You
good.
are fine. You're good. Anyone else can unmute? Feel free to unmute. George Saikwa, I see you unmuted. Do you want to speak? Or anyone else? I saw Becky here. Felix Maroe. Felix, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks. Speak to the CEO.
Sorry, I joined a bit late, so
But
I
I know
missed
that's
a
where
lot.
you're heading. In your current position at Steamer Sacco, I see you're moving at a very high speed. You're heading to the corner office. So any question or something you'd want to say? Maybe as you think, I see Betty. You can come after Betty's. I think Betty has said something, then we'll have you, Felix. When implementing a change, how do you know when to listen and when to force? Wow.
I think one of the attributes I did mention of CEO is that you have to be sensitive. Now, through sensitivity to your people, you'll be able to understand whether what I am trying to push is well understood or is not well understood, or whether what I am trying to implement is being ignored intentionally by the team. Then that time you use a rod. Because as a CEO, you need to drive the strategy, or you need to drive the organization where they want. So sometimes you need to be tough, but sometimes you need to be soft. So there are cases where you use force because you have to be sensitive enough to know at this situation, then we have to put our feet down for something to happen. It's not that you will always put your feet down on issues, but at certain times, being sensitive enough, you'll know when to put your feet down on driving an issue and when to be soft enough or allow someone else to lead. So that's what I would say in regards to the question that is asked.
I like that question. I like that question. Yeah, good. Felix.
How are you? Wanna
I'm
see you?
fine, Felix. I'm fine, Felix.
Oh, thank you so much. This is Felix Maroy from Steamer Sacco, Eldoret. Maybe my question, I know, especially for the CEOs, many times you have the long-term focus. But again, in between, there are those short-term things that you want to win or do. How do you remain focused without being distracted by these short-term strategies that may come up from time to time, so that you remain focused on the big vision that you have as a CEO? Sometimes you may be held up with day-to-day operational issues that may divert your attention. So how do you remain focused as a CEO?
That's easier. So I apply the 80-20 rule. So identify a few things that will have the biggest impact. So if you have about 50 things or 3 things or 5 things to do, you concentrate on the ones that would have the highest impact. So it could be impact to the organization, impact to your stakeholders, and impact to yourself. So that is how I gauge what I need to prioritize in my day-to-day work, which item that will have a lot of impact if I concentrate on it right now, and which other item can wait. So there's a matrix that I normally prepare, and that daily matrix really helps in terms of identifying what is urgent, what is not urgent, what is not urgent, and what is urgent. So there's a matrix that I do in terms of when issue come, urgent, not urgent, important, not important. So based on that, if that item falls in the box of urgent and important, then I deal with it immediately.
That's nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Felix. And all the best.
Good. Thank you. Anyone else that would want to unmute and speak to the CEO? It's your moment with the CEO.
So there's as you wait for your question, there's something else that I learned from one of my former directors. I know most of you apply for jobs and you go for interviews. And one of the things that the directors taught me, and I applied today, that when you have shortlisted a candidate, by the time you are shortlisted, you are a potential to get the job. But he told me the first 5 minutes, he can be able to assess a candidate and know whether they are the right for the job or they are not right for the job. The first 5 minutes, even without talking to you. I have seen your papers, you have come. Some people, after reviewing your papers, yes, they can be able to assess, but some people just that presence. It's present, and the first word you speak, they can make a call and say, you are the right candidate. And this applies to a situation where you have 3 candidates. They are all both potential. Now you have to choose one. The first 5 minutes, a CEO can be able to make a decision and say, this one, yes, this one, no.
Good. That's a good one. And I see a lot of HR professionals in the room. We agree. I've been I've been in those meetings, Tobias, with you, and we we can tell. We're just like at the end of it, we're like, I knew it. This one, yes. Felix has asked you, are you open to offer mentorship? Now Felix makes 2. Felix and Owen. You see, I told you, Tobias, I told you, I threw a challenge to
Yes,
you.
yes.
Now you have 2.
And we have been freely given, so we also freely give. So we've been mentored, so it would be unfair for me not to also mentor people who are willing. What I avoid is to force myself to mentor someone. Yeah.
It's very true, very true. So
Yes.
Felix and Owen, I will talk to me after this. I will link you up with the CEO. Yes. He says thank you. Good. Let me check on some comment there. Faith. Hello, CW. I would like CEO to touch on taking risks when you are at the top and need to make the final decision.
So you always have to know at the top, you take the responsibility. So at the top, whenever I sit with my board or the board committees and there's something that has happened, it could have been done by one of the heads of the sections, but the responsibility lies on my shoulder. So I take the responsibility and deal with the consequence. So there is no, I wouldn't say risk of taking. The moment you are in the role of the CEO, you take all the responsibility of the organization. Good or bad, they are in your shoulder. That is what you're paid for. So what you need to do is build a team that you ensure that you don't have a lot of mistakes or a lot of errors. Or if the risks are there, because risks will be there, then they are minimized, or the impact on any risk are not really, really big, but risks are there. There are policies, there are guidelines within organizations that also will support you to mitigate any risks may arise, but all squarely falls on you as the head of the organization.
Good. I see Owen is asking you, what made you stay in
What
the
did you say in the
organization for that long?
organization?
Is it love of the job, the perks, work environment, or growth opportunity? Or is it all?
I would say it is all. There's a time I almost left. I did some what I call interviews somewhere else, but I was cautioned, and my mentor cautioned me exiting, going to that job. And I look back and I thank my mentor for cautioning me, because everyone who went for that job never survived. In that organization, I almost joined. So I would say there are a couple of reasons. Of course, there was growth, trajectory. I was seeing myself growing. But I would also say somehow God sustained me here to allow me to be the CEO. So there's a supernatural bit of it.
Great. Owen, you heard that, huh? It's all of them. Yeah. And you need to also pray so that you're not just moving from one place to another without prayer.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
The grass is always not green on the other side.
Some people say it can be carpet green. Unajua?
Yeah.
Then when you get there, they remove the carpet. Under the carpet, then now it gets dusty. But that's amazing. Do we have any other question or comment before we finish? It's 8:01, but it's been amazing. Owen and Felix, I will link you up with the CEO, or he can. By the way, Tobias, are you able to share your office email, or do you want me to connect you with the two? I see something that has come in. Let me just check here. How can you advise those who don't stay in the organization for long? Martha, are you targeting me?
Don't stay. I mean, honestly, everyone has their path twined or intertwined differently. You could stay or not stay because of a reason. You just have to be sure why you are leaving and the reasons why you are leaving. If you're motivated because of income, then that's your reason for leaving. The other people leave because of culture. They want to try something else, or circumstances that have made them to leave, or the culture is bad where they are and they want to leave. So everyone is motivated differently, but never forget your vision, your own individual vision and aspiration. Where do I want to be in the next 10 years? So if moving to another job or another position is in line with that vision, then move. But if it is not, please don't move.
Good. Now you have actually touched on my last question, and I wanted to ask you, What is the role of the CEO in driving the organizational culture?
It looks like an MBA class. But I'll give the practical aspect of it. Culture plays a key role in driving strategy of the organization. So the CEO has that priority and personal responsibility to make the organization or the staff within the organization to understand that culture, and also to use the culture to drive strategy and the organization. So there is no way you can delink the CEO from the culture of the organization. He has a role to play. Whether the culture is bad or good, the CEO has a role to play in terms of driving a positive culture within the organization. Yes, Esther,
I think
that's
that's a conversation we need to have with CEOs, because when the culture is good, it belongs to the CEO. When it's bad, it belongs to the HR. You know.
And that's why I say it is a responsibility of the CEO, whether it is bad or good.
Mm-hmm. Good. It's been amazing. Unless we have any question or comment, let me choose who. I choose someone to speak to the CEO and thank the CEO. I'm going to throw someone into the deep end. Faith. Where is Faith Mashere? Vote of thanks to the CEO. I know I'm throwing you into the deep end. Unmute.
Thank you so much, Esther. And wow, this is an honor. You've spoken to me. This is directly, and I'm going to be that CEO after our CEO. So I take that spirit of being a CEO by force. Yeah, I'm very honored, and thank you so much. I enjoyed the session from when it began, and thank you so much for those points, and congratulations to my colleagues. They just landed a mentor, a very powerful mentor. Owen, and yeah, the other one I don't remember.
Felix.
But thank you so much.
Felix. Yes.
Yeah, Owen and Felix, congratulations. Please know that you will be pouring to us whatever you learned from CEO. We are also ready to learn and get more from you. And please, Esther, invite CEO again. We have really learned a lot from him, and he has challenged us positively. And we actually, for me, I'm aspiring to be that CEO. Yeah, so thank you so much, and have a blessed night.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Tobias. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. We will be watching closely Owen and Felix. And you know, I frequent Kenya Association of Manufacturers, so I will ask how you're doing and check on your progress in your workplace as well. But thank you, Tobias. Thank you for your time. I know we've kept you in the office this late, but that's leadership. Asante sana. God bless
Yeah,
you.
So remember the African proverb that I mentioned. Those who left you in the forests have no right to know what the lions did to you, nor do they have a right to know whether you survived. Be blessed.
Thank you and good night. That's powerful.